bring in Tammy Bruce, Fox News contributor and former Democrat, to react to Tuesday's primaries and the Trump endorsements. 70 of the people he endorsed have won so far. What's your reaction?
You know, and that number will change a little bit, but this has been fascinating. The talent bench for the Republicans, like in Pennsylvania, support Trump. They are people who are working to appeal to the American First framework. So you've got the great problem for Republicans, and if you're a Trump supporter, which is the majority, of, all right, so which one do we pick, right? And as we were discussing actually a little earlier, is that's in part where the Trump endorsement can come. Like, what would tip you over to where you would go to someone? But ultimately, I think the Republicans have a very clear idea. The American people have a very clear idea about what needs to change in this country. And it clearly, even if you didn't like Donald Trump at first, we've seen the dramatic difference in the kinds of choices that are made when it comes to individuals like a Donald Trump and people who support him versus the impact of policies, as Fox and Friends has talked about all morning, on the American people. So that's, I think, for the American people what the difference is. But remember, these are local races for the most part. I know they're for federal offices, but the fact is this is about get out the vote efforts. If you've ever been operating for a local election before, if the machines there are working with you as well, so that can make a difference. But ultimately, Trump's score has been it's been shocking. As you've noted, it'll go up and down. I think right now it's like 70-3 or 68-4, whatever it is. You're going to see headlines that say, oh, if Oz loses or the Cawthorn loss, that means Trump's not strong. That is gaslighting. It is, of course, not the truth. And do not underestimate. The mistake has always been to underestimate Donald Trump, to underestimate his supporters. That you would have thought the establishment would have learned to not do that. And so I think we're going to see more, obviously, with Georgia coming up. Those are important races to all of us, including the president. We'll have to see what happens.
What do you think will happen there in the governor's race?
Well, the numbers right now for Mr. Perdue are not great.
Yeah, he's losing by 32 points.
Yeah. And yet, of course, we also know that polls are sometimes, skewed, especially in a state where there is such angst and such division. And we know that George Soros has put, I think, $1 million to a Stacey Abrams PAC. There's a lot of other interests in there to try to embarrass Donald Trump. That's what they've been reduced to, is to embarrass him. Now, for like Herschel Walker, as an example, the endorsement in that kind of a case kept other people from running. So you didn't have this giant field. But again, the more debate there is, the better. The more ideas there are, the better. And we can see, at least for the America First crowd, that individuals, they care about what President Trump says and thinks. He clearly is the leader. He is the deliverer on the issues of policy and how to win. But they also have their favorites, the base does. And the base is going to do what they want to do. It's not a next in line. We're not repeating a next in line framework like the GOP has done. The America First base is vibrant. It's dynamic, just like the president. And so you're going to see this is what American democracy is supposed to be.
Thank you, Tammy, for coming on.
My pleasure. It's very exciting.
Yes, it is. We're gearing up, too.
That's right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.